Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts Designs. Welcome and welcome back. I'm here today to make a journal cover. I'll show you what it's going to be similar to. It's going to be similar to this. I mean, this is old and scrappy. Yeah, this is my idea book for pockets, pages. When I've been playing folding paper, I pop it in here. If I have spare pages when I'm putting journals together, they go in here. Some of the sewn pages I do, I've got one in because I forget how to make them. I really do. Oh, sometimes you just want a bit of inspiration, don't you? So the one we make today, you can use it as an inspiration journal, or you can use it as any kind of journal you want. The pages are going to be popped in with elastic, yeah. They're not going to be sewn in permanently, so you can use it as your daily journal and change out the signatures as you use it. Just use it for anything you want. Right, this is the book I've chosen to use. It's not vintage. It is from no, it's not from 19 something. It's from 2014, so it's 7 years old. It's one I picked up from a charity shop. Our charity shop has so many books, and rather than send them to landfill or let them be pulped, which is what happens when they've been in a charity shop too long in the UK, which not a lot of people know, they sell them. You can get a carrier bag full of books for £3, and this was the last carrier bag full I got. I got this in it. It was a book I was going to read. I tried reading it, but I didn't like it. But this is what I love. I love this cover page. So this is going to take away a lot of the hard work making a journal cover. So if you're out and about looking for books, don't dismiss something because it's a modern book. Yeah, look at that. That's my inside pages, cover pages done. They're done. Yeah, it's exactly the same on back. So yeah, it's done. And I'm going to use these bits here. I think I might use one for a bit of collage on front just to tie cover and the inside together. I will be covering the outside spine with fabric like on my idea book. So first things first, I've got to take the book block out of this. Now sometimes you can rip that page away from that one. I'll show you what I mean. And you can get the book block out, so but it's a lot easier just to cut it out. So I'm just going to cut this out. Can you see at the top? I'm going to go down there, yeah, and cut. I could try and save that, but oh, I've hit camera. I don't know whether it'll work. Oh, let's try. It might work, it might not. If it doesn't, it's not a problem. Oh, it might be working, this. Normally I end up cutting a hole in the cover page. Oh, it looks like this book will put together pretty rubbishly, which can be. Oh, that surprised me, I have to say. I think this is the easiest book I've ever took apart like this. Look at that. Modern rubbish? No, I want some modern rubbish. So let's have a look what we've got here. I've ripped it a little bit at top. So what we can then do, if you see what I mean, get in the shot, woman. That is then going to go into the spine for the inside of the book. You're going to have a join at other side, so let's see if we can do this one the same. It might work, it might not. I don't think this side's going to work. She says, I don't know. Looks like I've tried doing this at some point in the past. I probably tried this when I first got this book, and I can't even remember doing that. Wow. Just shows my mind's still working how it was pre-pandemic, because that's the last time I went to a charity shop. I tend to buy my books off eBay now. Right. Oh, it's done it. I've got to say that were pretty easy. Now I've got a new glue book Oh, these are quite nice pages. I don't think this book has naughty words in. It's not that kind of book. So I could make some embellishments out of that. And look at that. How easy was that? Oh, I've just had an idea. This is why you need to mess and play sometimes. Because I've just had an idea that I've only had because of what's just happened here. Right, so what I'm going to do with this now is I'll take part of it and put it in there for the inside of the spine. But, in fact, I don't even need to do that. Then I'm going to make a pocket. I'm going to make a pocket on the back. Yeah, with that. So all I need to do is cut this one off. That can then be my piece I'm going to use for my collage on front. So I'm going to cut that off. Snippety snip. I'm using my dual Tim Holtz 7-inch scissors. They call them 7-inch because they measure handle as well. That confused me when I first bought some. I bought the teeny tiny pair. That's 7-inch, not the blade. I always thought scissors were sold by blade size until I bought Tim Holtz ones. Right, you can see it's not a very sturdily constructed book. Yeah, I mean, you can put anything you want in there to reinforce it. I don't think we're going to need it on the inside. The reinforcement will come when we put something over the spine. So, oh, that was just too easy, that, weren't it? Too easy. So, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue that in. And then, yeah, I'm going to make that into a pocket. Because I think that'll be cute. We're going to have to do something on the edge so you know it's a pocket. Because it blends in pretty nicely, doesn't it? So I'm thinking if I put a thumb notch in and ink the edge, then we're going to know that's a pocket. Right, grab a punch. I think I'll use quite a big punch. Now, if you don't have a punch, just draw a semicircle and cut it. Yeah? I mean, I'm a full-time crafter. I do a lot of crafting. So I've bought these things to make my life easier and speed things up. If you're only going to cut a semicircle once a blue moon, you don't need to go buying a punch that's going to let you cut a 2-inch circle in a big, huge semicircle. Oh, you can if you want. I'm not telling you off for spending your money. So I've got my 2-inch one. The reason I've got my 2-inch one and not my 2.5-inch one is because I don't know where it is. Oh, I've just spotted it. I've just spotted it. I just have a big pile on my right of things that I've not quite put away yet. Because I'm just like that. I can't be putting things away when I'm all excited to move on to a new project. That just slows me down. Right, so here we go. I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to guess it. That looks about in the middle. That looks about in the middle. And I think I will ink with... I'm wanting to do a darker ink on this cover. I'm going to see what my walnut stain looks like. And then if I'm not happy with how dark it is, I might just do it with... Oh, I think this is dark enough, yeah. I was thinking of using ground espresso, which is even darker. Right, it's hard to ink that. I need a piece of card. I did have one lying about somewhere. Yeah, I had a piece of card lying about. My room's full of pieces of card lying about. But I meant I had a long thin one. Oh, I don't know where that's gone. Grab something else. What we got here? I'll use this book page. I just want to stiffen this up so it's easy to ink. And I don't want to crease it and wrinkle it while inking it. Right. I'm going to have to turn it the way I can do it most easily. And because I've done that, I'm going to have to do that. And then I'm going to have to do that and that. Yeah. That's easy to ink because I'm holding it taut. Let's do inside the semicircle. This is going to go a lot quicker than I thought it were going to go with that coming apart so easy. But if it doesn't, and you end up having to cut down that side and the other, it's not a problem. You're just going to overlap it on both sides. I mean, you may have a situation where you can put 2 big pockets on. That'd be good. I'm half tempted, you know, not to use the other page, you know, for collage on front. I'm half tempted to make some other kind of pocket there. It's, interesting. But yeah, even though this is not vintage, I just love this. It's got a vintage feel, hasn't it, this cover page? I quite like it. So I'm going to crease that as well, because I think I want some ink there. I do. Yeah, I like that. I'll do that one when I've glued it down. So what glue am I going to use? I can use anything really. It's not... Yeah. I'm now thinking if I put some material in there to stick out top and bottom, that might look pretty cool. So I did have some material out that I was toying with the idea of using for the cover. I'll show it you. It's some I got from eBay quite a while back. It's some ticking. Yeah, but then I'm thinking, am I tempting fate trying to put a stripy fabric on front? Might that go a bit wrong? If it don't line up, it'll look odd. But what I do like on it is this salvage edge. Now I'm thinking if I just put a teeny bit at the top and a teeny bit at the bottom, when you shut the book from the outside, you're going to see that, aren't you? I like it. I know it's not what you normally put there. You'd perhaps fold that over and have that sticking out, but I want to use that because I like it. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and nick a bit of edge of this. And if you don't have any that's already frayed like this, just rip a bit of material and make a frayed bit. You know how to do that. Well, yeah, I want this. So I'll mark that with my scissors. No, they're not scissors. That's a pencil. Just don't listen to me. Yeah, I'm doing a tutorial and I don't know the difference between a pair of scissors and a pencil. Oh my word. It's what do as I do, not do as I say. My mum used to say opposite. Do as I say, not do as I do. So yeah, I'm just going to glue that on there. I quite like the rattiness of that. So when that's glued down, it'll just be sticking out. I quite like that. I think it's cute. We'll see it there as well. We won't, because we're going to cover it with fabric, aren't we? I'll tell you what, when I cover it with fabric, I'm not going to wrap it over onto the inside. No, I'm not. I'm just going to put it up to the top. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, I just keep changing my mind about what I'm doing all the time. But I think that's half at fun, isn't it? Right, I'm going to glue this on with art glitter. Right, I've got my art glitter. Has it got a pin in? Has it got a pin in? But, look at this. I'll show you this. Going off on a tangent. I received a little happy mail today from Kay. And, yeah. Hi, Julie. Wanted to send you this to help you remember to put your pin in. And an exclamation mark. And this is from Kay's shop. Kay buys from me, and I'm embarrassed to say I didn't know Kay had a shop. But that's because I live under a stone, and I just don't think to look these things up. And if I look them up, I don't remember them. Yeah, so this is a glue topper. I've not even opened it yet, but I can see. So I'm going to open it, and you'll get to see it at the same time as me. I love the packaging. I really do. That's so natty. Oh god. Oh, it's got glasses. I'm guessing that might be a reference to me losing my glasses as well. I'd like to think it were. What am I like? So, it does say on the packaging, do not use this glue topper to unblock your glue. So I'm guessing my glue is going to be blocked. So I'm going to grab one of my random pins. Oh, that's a pin and a top. And I'm going to unblock it first before I use my new glue topper. Right. There we go. Oh, this is lovely. It's a lovely long pin. I love these pins, Kay. Really do. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's the pin holding it in. Oh, that's an extra pin. That's the pin that the glue topper's made from. Ooh, loving it. Oh, that is so nice. She's probably heard me going on about the fact that the only reason I don't use a glue topper as well is I don't want no heavy dangle hanging off and knocking my glue over. So all the weight here is on the top, so that's then going to stop your glue bottle tipping over. This is so well thought out. Oh, look at that. I like that. That's nice. There you go. So I've now got a pin that I'm not going to lose. So Kay, you know that's going to save me a fortune, the amount of pins I buy because I'm losing them. Anyway, I've digressed long enough. I will link Kay's shop below. She's lovely. She's one of my subscribers. And yeah, so you've got your instructions on how to use it. She's on Etsy. And yes, I will link Kay below. So thank you so much for that, Kay. It's lovely. I love those glasses. I absolutely love those glasses. I've just ordered another dangle from Kay's shop as well. So I thought I can have one on my planner. Right, so here we go. I'm using art glitter glue to stick this on. I'm thinking, where am I up to? That was why I went off on that tangent. Right, I'm going to put a little bit there anyway. I mean, I could have used ordinary PVA, but I want it to dry quick on camera, and I've now got that giant bottle of art glitter that's going to last me forever. Well, it probably won't. Probably last me 6 months to a year, I'm guessing. Right, so let's pop that on. I want it just peeking out the top. I don't want loads sticking out. I'm happy with that look. That looks cute. I perhaps didn't need to put so much there. I could cut some of that off. It's just not necessary, is it? It's not needed. It's not going to go falling out. Kids aren't going to go swinging on it. I think I sometimes glue journals together. I try and make them stand up to a child trying to pull it apart. Is that a reflection on my kids? Maybe it is. I don't know. Right, I'll turn it upside down and let's do the other one. And what didn't I do? I didn't put my glue back in, my pin back in, but I now haven't lost it, so it's all good. Yeah, it'll take me a while to get used to putting that in, Kay, but thank you so much. That is so thoughtful. I think glue stoppers are a bit like buses, because another lovely subscriber of mine, Jane, put in the comments yesterday that she was going to send me a glue stopper, because, yeah, I think me losing my pins is a bit annoying. It's still a bit bunged up, that, with the glue, with the pin not having been up in for, yeah, at least 24 hours. Right, let's, oh, that's it, that's coming out better, much better now. Whee. And it comes out a lot better if you make sound effects, I've found. I have. Right. I'm just going to unscrunch that just a little, because I don't want to go gluing down them ratty bits. There we go. I've got that a bit higher up than the other one. So I'm happy with that. Let's just have a quick squint at that. Yeah, it's not in your face, that, is it? But it's there. It's not in your face, but it's there. I quite like it. It's a teeny tiny little detail that I'm happy I've done. Right, let's glue this in now. Right, I'm gonna pull that back and I'm gonna get glue. I have got this upside down, by the way. Have I? No, I haven't. Shut up, woman. It don't matter anyway. I'm not doing anything that matters whether it's upside down or right way around for now. We'll address that when we've got this stuck in. I'm putting plenty of glue on this where it's all wibbly wobbly ratty. Yeah, I'm going to put plenty of glue across there. So I'm using an awful lot of art glitter. Some might use Fabri-Tac for this, but you know my opinion on Fabri-Tac. I only use it when nothing else will do. If anything else will do, I'm not using it. And And again, I would have probably used ordinary PVA. But I'm getting really giddy now. I've found a cheaper source of art glitter. And I'm using it, I'm using it, I'm using it. Right, I'm going to get that stuck down first before I do anything else. So I'm going to start from this edge. And I really want to press that down. You can tell this is quite a modern book, and not put together very strongly, because this has gone completely flat. It's sort of lost its shape, but its shape will come back, look, when we start to bend it. I'm watching out for bits squeezing out now. I'm going to get rid of that. Go away. We don't want you squishing out. So I'm going from this side. I'm going to get my bone folder now. And I'm not going to be too heavy-handed because I don't want to puncture that paper. Yeah, we're still keeping that shape on outside. And then I'll start to smush across there. I'll smush up and down, smooth it out a bit. I'll use that end. There we go. So it's probably smushed some of the glue into this edge. But before I go any further, I'm going to put plenty of glue down here. Just going to go under that. That cardboard on the book itself is coming away a little bit. So I'll stick a bit in there. Whee! And like I said, the sound effects really help. Of course they do.
You have movie quotes trivia game enabled.
Really? Do I?
Do you want to open it?
Not really, Gert. I'm busy making a book. Play later. Alright.
Welcome to the movie quotes trivia game.
Did I just...
Are you ready to begin the
game?
Did
I just say I wanted to open that? I don't think I did. No, thank you.
I am sorry. I do not understand what you just said. Please try again.
Please shut up.
Okay. Here is your first movie quote.
What?
You know of going to Roumel and finding him so that he can go home.
Mm?
If that earns me the right to get back to my wife, then that's my mission.
Really? No idea, Gertrude. Please close the application. I got that wrong. This is
That is too bad.
Right, yeah.
This movie quote was from the movie Saving Private Ryan.
Really?
Are you ready for your next movie quote?
No.
Okay, we will wrap up this game. Your score was 0 out of 5 questions.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for playing the movie quotes trivia game.
You're welcome. I think it might be time to unplug her, do you think, Gertrude? Because there's chiming in, and then there's trying to take over video. It's like, whose YouTube channel is it anyway? It's Camelia Crafts Designs, not Gertrude on a giddy power trip. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. If you've never watched my channel before, I've got one of the, it's the oldest Amazon dot. I'll call it an Amazon dot, then it's unlikely to activate anyone else's dots. Yeah, that you can get. And it's a bit deaf, yeah, which is to be expected with age, isn't it? And she just chimes in randomly. And we've christened her Gertrude. Right, that was not lining up. Obviously because of how I've glued this in. Maybe I lost my concentration while I were doing a movie quiz. It's like, do you know when kids, you're busy, you're doing something, kids are like, Mum, can I have this? Will you do this? Can I play this? Mum, can I, will I? That is what our Gert's getting like lately. She's getting very clingy in her old age. So yeah, if you're new to me, that is what on earth that we're all about. It's the first time she's ever randomly started an application without my permission. And yeah. Anyway, right, we've sort of straightened that up now. So I like that. What do you reckon? Gertrude notwithstanding. Going off on tangents about glue pins. So, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to just glue that along the edges to make my pocket. So, we're going to call this an impromptu pocket, yeah? Because we didn't plan to make this pocket. But yeah, I mean, I've made these before. I did it with some Edith Holden books. The book that is the story of Edith Holden has some really gorgeous cover papers on inside. Do they have names, them papers? I don't know. The papers on inside at cover. I'm happy with that. I'm quite happy calling it that, me, I am. I'm just going to put a little bit more glue there because I've peeled it back. There we go. So, let's put this down and, yeah, make our pocket. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is, don't think because you've made something before, there's nothing new to discover, or there's nothing new you can come up with. I mean, I never come up with that before, but I have now, and I'm really happy. You're not going to get a lot in it, to be fair, but hey-ho. I mean, now I'm thinking next time I do it, I'll put some kind of gusset in top. I could make it into kind of policy envelope by using my other cover paper to make a flap. That would be really nice. But I've stuck it down now before I had that idea, so it's too late for that one now, isn't it? But that's an idea for future. This one's meant to not be complicated anyway, and I hope it's not been complicated. I mean, we'll manage to play a movie quiz in the middle. Right, so that, before I do anything else with that, I really need to just let that dry. Because if I start... Oh, shit, I've done it. I've started. I quite like that. I don't want to start punching holes in it yet, though. Yeah, I've moved that. Can you see how it's baggy now since I started to... Let's smooth it out. We don't want a baggy pocket. So I need to let that dry before I do anything else. So I will pause my camera, let that dry for a couple of hours, and then I'll come back and we'll put the fabric on the outside. I'm just going to find a different fabric. I really want to put this on, but I don't trust paper on spines. It's going to crack. Also, it's not tall enough, is it? So yeah, I'm going to get some, I think I'm just going to use plain. May use the ticking, I don't know. Can't decide. And yeah. So I'm going to let this dry and I will be back. 2 ticks. And I'm back. I did come back once before, but I didn't bother turning camera on. Well, I thought I had, but I hadn't. You've not missed out. I just inked around these edges. Yeah, you know, because I'd inked around that pocket. And I've inked with this, and I found it really easy and handy. It's one of them spongy glue spreaders that are tuppence a bucket full from Poundland, or I buy mine from Amazon. And look, you can see. I just found it really handy for getting on edges. Yeah, I've been a bit messy in places on purpose because I wanted it to look old, like here. In fact, that was too messy. That's terrible now, isn't it? But we're not going to see it. Well, that were awful. Why did I do that? Let's blend that out a bit. That's because someone's had the manky fingerprint in it over the last 100 years when they've been handling this book. I thought... Now, if I'd used a clean brush for that, it would have just softened the edges, but it didn't. So let's use, there we go. Yeah, I quite like that. I'm not going to spit my dummy out because I did that. I think that corner needs a bit more on. I never thought to use that for ink blending. Never in a million years. But I just wanted something with a pointy edge. You see what I mean? Just to get the edges and not get too much on this part of the book where we don't really need ink. I quite like that. I mean, we've got a bit at the top here that looks like a stain. That's because I've put quite a bit of glue on there. And then when I've inked it, yeah, it's all mixed. Because this is distress ink and it reacts with water. Yeah, and it's made that look like a stain. Which I'm pretty happy about. Right, there we go. So that's the inside all inked. We're ready to put some fabric on outside. So, flip it over. And I'm gonna go for the ticking. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be brave. Right, I have noticed as well that this book looks far more brown on camera than it does here. It is much more of a darker chestnut brown than it looks. It's very strange, that. And this ticking that I've picked is, I don't know if this were grey or French blue. I'm really not sure. I'll try and put a link to the shop where I buy it. Look, if you look here, I'll show you. I did once show this on camera before. I bought it in this lovely blue. That's like, now on camera, that looks like it would match better. That goes perfectly on camera, but in real life, that's a little bit too light for that. I don't like it. Very strange, that. In real life, which is where I am. That green. Actually, that green does go nice. There's a very slight chance here I'm going to completely change my mind and use a completely different colour. But I was thinking, no, I want that one because it goes with blue on inside, yeah. There were a method to my madness. Yeah, that goes on the outside with the brown, and it also goes with the blue cover page, which I've got a spare one somewhere of, and I've lost it. Yeah, lost it. Is that gone? I have no idea, so we best flip that up and show it you, haven't we? Yeah, it goes well with that. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Right, let's have it the right way up. No, that's the right way up, isn't it? Yeah, you can tell by weight. Right, and goes on Spine Woman. So, yeah, I'm going to be brave and use this even though it's stripy. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. I can take it off and use something else. That's my philosophy. Don't be afraid to try it in case it goes wrong. So, I want it... I don't want it to overlap a huge amount. So, I think... we can have a stripe. The stripes are going to end around about there, aren't they? So we'll get non-stripe there, and if I have one stripe on the cover and cut it just before that, I can then cut that bit off straight. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it there, so I'll put a little notch with my scissors. What do I want? I'm just going to try moving it over so that we cut on a blue bit. It's not like changing your mind, is there? Yeah, I want to cut on a blue bit. I do. So I'll continue cutting down that line there. And I'm going to cut down that line there. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. I'm not too worried about how straight I cut it either. I want it to be a bit raggy. I'm going to fray it a little bit, like so, but I will sew around it first before I fray it. The length is going to be perfect up to this crease, so I'll go ahead and cut it along that crease. I'm not wrapping it onto the inside of the book. I'm going down that line there. So that's that. I mean, you can put anything you want on it. You don't have to use the same as what I'm using. I mean, my little idea book, I put far less thought into it than this, and literally it was done and dusted in about half an hour. Because I want to make this into a journal that I may be selling or gifting, or might even give it away, eh? It's about time I did a giveaway. Oh, there we go. I'll finish cutting that down there. Yeah, it is the 8th of September today, and I started my YouTube channel on 7th September 2020, so I've been going a year. So today is in effect the start of a brand new year. Right, that's that. Let's get the length spot on now. If I cut it the same length as the book, yeah, that'll allow for a bit of frayage. Maybe we'll still be able to see that little raggy bit we put inside. I'm just going to turn that sideways so I can see better where I'm cutting. It's a smidgen longer than the book, a smidgen longer. You know, them old measurements of smidgens and yay much. So it's yay long, which is a smidgen longer than the book. I mean, I've not even told you how big my book is, because nothing we've done so far is dependent on the measurement. You can do this to any size book you want. I will tell you, just because people might want to know. I think it's about 9 inches. Yeah, 8 3/4 inches. I mean, we're not going to get full journal size pages in it, and it's 5.5 inches wide. It'll probably be perfect size to put traveller's notebook size pages in. That's a thought. That's a happy accident that I didn't plan it that way. Right, so that's going to get put on there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop downstairs, because that's where my sewing machine is these days. It's much less trouble out of the way down there. And I'm just going to sew around those edges just to stop it fraying and disappearing at some point. And I'll be back in 2 ticks. I'm here again. Right, I've sewn round. I'm really happy with thread I chose because you can't see it. Now, I've sewn, if you don't have a sewing machine, you don't have to sew. What I would suggest is, before you glue this on, put a thin bead of glue around where you don't want it to fray past. That'll stop it. You can buy posh glues called Fray Stop, but I don't think they're necessary. I do have some. I use it if I've got an exposed piece of material I don't want to fray anymore. I'll just rub a bit on with my finger and it works. But any PVA glue will do it. Right, so I've used a very neutral thread. It's just a beige. I didn't want it to stand out too much either on the colour or on the beige. So I use beige. Right, I'm now... They're my threads that I've left. I'll just cut them off a bit shorter. Still want them on, but not too long. And I'm going to just fray around edges a bit. Safe in the knowledge that it won't fray past my sewing. I mean, it's up to you how much fray you want. I'll tell you who does a really good video on doing a really big fray, even on a wonky piece of material. Izzy B Craft Creations. She did a traveller's notebook a couple of years back and it was fabulous. That one's a bit more fray there. Yeah, I'm happy I did it like this. So I've took away the blue and I've left the frayed edge cream. That's nice, I like it. That's about even. I'll do a little bit top and bottom. That's that. I think I sewed a bit in the edge on that bit. I did. That's my bottom bit anyway. That don't want to come past, you see. The stitching is already stopping that fraying, which is good, which is what we want. That's why we do it. So, I'm then going to glue that onto my spine. And I'm going to use bog standard PVA. I'm not using art glitter this time because I don't want it to dry too quick. I want to make sure I get it spread out nicely before it starts drying up. So I've got my tacky glue. It's my Anita's one that I love, in my Sugar Bell bottle. I've not used it for ages, so it might look, just had a little glue plug-in end. And I'm going to spread it onto the spine. Whee. Is it coming out quick enough for my liking? I could have actually just got the big bottle out for this. So I've just, there you go, get it on. And I'm grabbing yet another one of those spongy things, yeah, to spread my glue out. Yeah, they now have something to be in, and I can't grab it. Come on here. There you go. I treat myself to some of these plastic pouches. You know, for things I normally keep in plastic grip seal bags, because they start looking pretty manky pretty quick, don't they? And I'm going to see if this spreads it out okay without soaking it up too much. Yeah, it's going to be fab. Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be great. And like I said, this dries a little bit slower than your art glitter. And it's a lot cheaper, so if you soak a load up into your spreader, world ain't going to end. It's not going to cost you a fortune. I don't even think you need to use the tacky one. Just bog standard PVA would suffice for this, really. But I don't have any. I buy the tacky one. The one I buy is cheap as chips. I'm not going as far to the edge as I want to eventually go. Yeah, I'm just making sure I do get into that first crease a little bit, though. Right. I mean, if this doesn't dry, if it don't go Yeah, stick down without any bubbles. I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered. It's not that kind of journal. I'm not after perfection. Make sure the glue goes right up to the edge, but even if it doesn't, you can put a little bit more in after. I'm really liking how this sponge does spread it out. I really am. Hopefully it's not then going to go through my fabric. It's quite a thick fabric, so I'm not too concerned about that anyway. I mean, if you want, use Fabri-Tac. Don't personally like it. But each to their own. Right, I'm going to fold this up in half-ish, because I want to get this lined up. And if I put it on blind, I won't know where I'm putting it. That looks about right. That looks about right. And now can you see how I'm going down like that with it? I've got a little bit longer at top than bottom at the top, so I'll just hutch it up a bit. It's not too wonky, I can live with that. Just going to get it into that crease. Using my fingers first, and I'll go in again with my bone folder. I'm going to use this one, because this one's, can you see, it's got, that side it's like square. Don't ask me where I got this one from, it came in a goodie bag at a craft show. Then I'm going to smooth that. Because my fabric's a little bit nearer the bottom than the top, as I smooth it, I'm going to go upwards. I've got a crease in there, I didn't realise. That won't bother me too much. So that's that on there. How's it going to look? It's going to look good. I like how much I've got hanging over. The fact that I've got stripes, it's not bothering me. It's not perfect, but I can live with it. Right. Just keep pressing that down. I mean, we're going to have eyelets in the top, and we're going to have elastic coming down it anyway. But I think that's straight enough for me. As my mum says, a blind man would be glad to see it. Right, so now I'm happy with that. I'm going to come in and put some glue there. I think this time, yeah, I'm going to use my art glitter to make it dry a bit quicker. 'Cause I'm happy with how I've got that place now. If I don't get it far enough out, I can always come back at a later date. I don't want my art glitter soaking in to a sponge. It'd be too wasteful. So I'm doing it with my finger this time. Not something I enjoy doing. Getting glue on your fingers doesn't thrill me. So that's that. And I'll do this one. And it has done quite well. It's not come through fabric, but it's quite a thick fabric this, so I weren't too worried about that. We've not had a repeat at Alice where I used super thin fabric and it came through. But even that were a happy accident, because it just made the fabric look really aged and old. There we go. Put that on. I don't want to use that finger now, it's stuck up in air. Oh, I've got glue on my finger. This is when the world really could end, me getting glue on my finger. Right. So that's our cover prepared. That's a bit. There we go. Stretch it out a bit if you're not happy. This fabric has a little bit of give in it. It's quite a open weave really. So I've just put a little bit more glue on there to allow me to stretch that down. Oh, am I stretching it up? Yeah, this is top. Yeah, and I'm liking the look of that better. Right, I'm going to then leave that flat and let that dry. Now I'm going to let that dry overnight. hello again. Yeah, I can't remember if I've cut the bit off where I said goodbye, but I've tacked a bit more on the end of this video. It wasn't as long as I thought, so I've let my fabric dry, and I'm going to put my eyelets in and my elastics. Right, I'll show you how I do it. Right, I'm going to grab a piece of paper or card. Yeah, that'll do. Right, because I want to make sure my eyelets are in the right place for inside it book and for outside it book, and that they're going to be straight. Yeah, so I've got this. I'm going to cut this to the same length as, yeah, my inner paper, not the book, the inner paper. So that's that, and I'm going to cut it to the same width as my inner bit on the spine, which is about there. Make that a bit darker. You're never going to see that when you get it in paper trimmer, are you? That'll be a disaster waiting to happen. So, yeah, this is a bit of file folder I've just grabbed. I suppose it's better than paper. So I'm going to cut it off to the right length. Then I'm going to cut it off to the right width. And that's when I'll find out how wide my spine actually is. It's about 1.5 inches. Yeah, 1.5 inches. Now, this will work. Don't matter how wide your spine is. Just cut this piece of card to that size, yeah? It's not going to stay there, so it don't matter if when you shut your book it buckles. It's just to help us decide where to put our eyelets. Right, so, yeah, get your ruler. So we know that's 1.5 inches wide. So, to be honest, we could put our... I'm not going to... I've got a centering ruler, but I'm not going to use it as one, because you might not have one. Right, so I want my eyelets. I don't want them to be so near the top that they're going to come over my paper. I want them settled in. So I put my eyelet on. That's how I want it to be. Yeah. So that's how low down I want my holes. Well, not that low down. I want it there. So it's going to be a little bit higher up than there, and I'm going to do it at 3/4 inch. There you go. So now that's going to give enough clearance for my eyelets to open up. In fact, you know what? I think that needs to be a bit higher. A bit higher. Yeah. Right, then my other L's are going to be halfway between that point and that point, which happens to be 1 1/8. That one's going to be 3/8. So we're having a hole at 3/8, 3/4, 1 1/8. Yeah. And then I want to do the same at the bottom of this. Yeah. Don't matter if I've got it in book at this point. That's about yay far down. So 3/8, 3/4, and 1 1/8. I'll just make those a bit bigger. It's like a little template, this, if you will, for how I'm going to punch my holes. But I'm going to punch my holes from the outside to the inside. So this is like, I could have, do you know, actually it don't matter. So I'm going to use this. Yeah, I'm going to keep that where it is. I'll do it with that in. I've just suddenly changed how I punch my holes. Right. I'm using my crocodile. I'm going to set it so that the distance is correct. So we've got that little template in, haven't we? I made it a smidgen shorter than my papers. So I want to pop that on. Oh, that's amazing, that. It's nearly right already. That were a complete guess. I guessed how far down I needed to set it. Go on, you want to go on? That's it. Yeah, that'll be spot on. So mine's set at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16 of an 8. 5/16 of an inch. Yeah. So I'm going to keep that template on. What I could do if I was smart is put a little bit of removable glue on. Do you know what? I think I'm going to use my purple tape runner. Have I got it to hand? How have I lost it? Could be anywhere. I tidy my desk and then I lose it all. Because I know this balls up and comes off, so I'm just going to bob a bit of that on. Then put my template on. I mean, I do have some of that glue that is completely removable. And I do have some spray that is. That's it. That's made my life easier. So now I'm going to punch holes. You probably can't see this because I have to tilt it to me to see. 1. That got stuck. 2. It looks terrifying when you've got holes in your book like this, doesn't it? And yeah, they look pretty far down, but remember our book carries on, doesn't it? I'm going to need a pokey tool to get that out. Oh, it came out. And 3. So I'll show you that from outside now. There you go. So they don't look nearly as near top, but I guarantee if I'd have decided where to put them by using outside, I'd have put them near at top and I would have put it far nearer that spine. They look a lot closer together than they do when you turn it around and look on the inside. It's strange. Don't know why that happens, it just does. So this is how I like to do it. Normally I take my template though and I put it on outside. It's the first time I've done it like this. Right, that's that one. Come on. That's still stuck. I can't quite see that pencil mark. I need to make it bigger. That's that. And it's the distance between them we're looking for. We've got the distance from the edge of the book set with this. I mean, when I've marked my pencil lines up, my pencil marks on, some of them have been different heights. Come on, you want to come out? There you go. So that's my last one. So there we have our 3 holes, top and bottom. I'm going to take this off now, and I'm going to hope this doesn't ruin my book. I'm going to get my glue rubber for that. So that might have just been a daft, silly move there. We'll see, won't we? Yeah. There we go. That's come off. It didn't want to ball up under my finger very well, but it's come off no problem with my glue rubber. I find these invaluable. I use them all the time, these glue rubbers. One of them things I don't tend to use so much on camera, but you know, if you find a bit of glue where it shouldn't be after, just come in and rub it off. That's what all the horrible black bits are. That's glue. That's the glue that I've took off. Right, so let's have a look at outside. Oh yeah, I'm liking the look of that. We might need a bit more glue there. Yeah, it's looking good. So now I'm going to put my eyelets in. I've picked these antique bronze ones, and I'm going to use black elastic. My elastic is 1.5mm. Now it did enter my head to order some brown to match the book, but then I thought, no, use what you've got. It still looks fine. It don't need to be brown. Stop spending money you don't need to spend, woman. So, oh, I've already got my crocodile set correctly. That's one. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, that looks good. Very neat. These are the We Are Memory Keepers eyelets, by the way. Oh look, I didn't get that very... Why is that so wonky? Have I punched one of my holes in the wrong place? Let's see what they both look like when they're all in. Oh no, they're fine. It just looked very close. So, stop panicking, woman. They are quite close, these actually, aren't they? It's not a very wide spine. I don't think I'd have wanted to put holes any closer than this. Right, and put the other 3 in. There we go. Oops. My handle's slipping off again. It's got to be something to do with where I hold it. I do hold things very strangely. I don't even hold a pen properly, me. That's another thing my daughter does, who's the one who's dyslexic and autistic. She doesn't hold a pen properly, never has done. And you know what? She holds it like me. And I don't know, I doubt that's from copying me. I think that just is a bit of a genetic thing. But apparently dyslexic people quite often hold their pen strange. And I've mentioned before, I think I'm dyslexic, never been diagnosed. I really do. Right, that's that done. And I love it. I love it. That looks really good. I'm quite happy with that. Let's put it right way up. There's pockets at back. Although we could have, do you know, at this point, it doesn't matter which way up you have that. We could have the pocket at the front, but I wanted it back. I don't know why, I just do. So, there we go. Stop flipping it about, woman. Right, elastic. There's many ways to put this elastic in. You can get fancy, you can put beads on outside, buttons, all you want. I don't personally like that, because I think if you're going to go sticking things on a book spine, how are you going to manage to write in book? It's going to be all... Yeah. Anyway, that's not a criticism. I mean, you can take your signature out to write on it. It depends. I'm a very practical person. Yeah. I'm not a style over substance kind of woman. Usually. You can fancy thread these so it goes in. Yeah. Ugh. I'm just going to put 3 separate bits of elastic in. Yeah. I've got a big roll, so I'm not too worried about wasting any at the minute. So I'm just going to cut 3 lengths of elastic, long enough to tie them with a bow. I also think if your elastic stretches, you can put another piece in. So I'm not too worried about getting it too tight so that it's going to last forever. Stick some more elastic in. Even if I were to sell this and someone bought it, just be aware that elastic stretches over time. It just does. That's the nature of elastic. And it may become baggy and you may need to replace these, but it's not a difficult job. You could even use ribbon. You don't have to have elastic. I like elastic because it lets you get your pages, your signatures in and out easily. Right, so I'm just going to tie them. Whoops. Now, I like to tie it so that a little bit of tightness on the elastic, but not too much. Also, I would normally grab a child to help at this point, but one child is busy watching TV and the other child is cooking tea again. We're having chicken, I don't even know how to say it, hoisin wraps. It's like the flavour of the ducks you get in Chinese restaurants in the UK. Right, so that's one. Let's pop another in. I know I have done versions of this book before, putting elastics through. I think I did a start to finish one, but we covered the whole cover. It was one that did he do it from chipboard or a book? I'm not sure. This is the first time I've done it while preserving the inside book covers, whatever they happen to be called, because I can't remember. So, there we go, and the last one. So yeah, this is thicker elastic than I used on my own idea book, but I used the elastic I had. Also, I've bought elastic and it's not been the width it says it is sometimes. I would link this one on Amazon. I will have a look, but as of now, as of me checking, it wasn't available the last time I updated my storefront about a week ago. If it's available, I'll link it. So that's that. Yeah, it looks a bit messy there at the minute, doesn't it? But that's going to be, I'll just tie these a bit tighter and snip them off. They're going to be on the inside of our signatures. I mean, we could have made them pretty, we could have made them into bows, but it's not necessary. I like to leave a little bit, just so the elastic doesn't unravel. There we go. I mean, I did see a nice way of tying it. I think it was, I can't remember actually it was it Barbara at 49 Dragonflies? She fastened hers at the bottom so there was no knots, but yeah, we're making this easy and simple. So there we have it. That doesn't actually look too bad on my stripes, does it? And I think black looks fine. And now I've got my own homemade guitar. And just to show you that this does work, I'm going to grab something small from my ideas book and pop it in there. that one. So that's a page that I've made from a Botanical book page, yeah, with pockets. And if I pop that under there you go. So that is signature number 3. So next time we're going to get some signatures in it, yeah, and some decorations. And yeah, it is going to be Botanical. I'm not going to stick just to a blue theme because I've got the blue cover here. I just love this blue. I think it's anything Botanical will go lovely with this. We've got the brown cover. I don't know what my focal image is going to be out front. If I'm going to do one, you might find I might just put a book plate on and leave it as is. I don't know. I've not decided. So that's that. Elastics in, eyelets in, book cover completely made. So I will leave it there. I won't be coming back tagging bits on end this time because we've done the cover. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time. Bye.